Hello,
Hello, welcome to Beauty and the Spirit. I'm Tina Thompson.
and I am Josef, and thank you for joining us this evening. How are you, Mrs. Tina?
I am doing fabulous, honey. I am living.
Look amazing in the feathers, the eyelashes, all of it. You are giving me drama, and I live. I am so
Yes,
excited we are doing this show today.
yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for this show simply for the fact that everything is everything, but it could be more if it's legendary.
That
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for this show simply for the fact that everything is everything, but it could be more if it's legendary.
legendary. Yes.
Legendary. Yes, honey.
We have
We
some
are,
great guests today, right?
yes, I was getting to say, we are packed jam with legendariness, if it is a word. Yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
we are packed jam. This show, Beauty in the Spirit, as you know, Mr. Joseph, it is meant to inspire. It is meant to talk about the fitness of life, to empower. It is meant for inclusion. It is meant for everybody to feel as if they play a part as an artist. Am I correct?
Exactly. We all have a piece of the puzzle, and we all make this world a beautiful place. Whether it's dance, whether it's theater, acting, house music, all of it, the ballroom scene, we all play a part in this new world and being the new pioneers to make a difference and people unite in this new need right now.
Absolutely. Well, that being said, we both welcome you to this new edition, Dance in the New World. How are we approaching our audiences? Today, we have a very special show for you, as we have said, but we will be in discussion and in dialogue with some of the great minds in our artistic community. But before we bring on our legendary first special guest, we must examine a timeline of a brief history in dance. As you know, from the 15th through the 19th centuries, we have court dancing to romanticism. But I decided before that there was dance from the motherland, the archives of Africa, and the deserts of all of the earth, where the tribal dances accumulated and they brought forth this diaspora of growth and people and love and drum and all of it. But through that, we understand that after the 15th and 19th century, and you had your court dancing and romanticism, early 20th century, you have ballet to contemporary dance. And the late 20th and early 21st centuries, we had that genre of dance. But after that explosion of modern dance in the 20th centuries, the 60s saw the growth of postmodernism. Postmodernism towards simplicity, the beauty of small things, the beauty of the untrained body and unsophisticated movement. The famous No Manifesto rejecting all costumes, stories, and outer trappings in favors of raw and polished movement was perhaps the extreme in this wave. But unfortunately, the lack of costume, stories, and outer trappings did not make a good dance show for some. But it was not long before it set the decor and shock volume that we have re-entered the vocabulary of modern dance choreography. By the 1980s, dance had come full circle, and modern dance, by this time, Mr. Woodson, it was called and coined contemporary dance. It was clearly still a high technical and political, notice I said political, vehicle for many practitioners. Existing alongside classical ballet, the two art forms were now living peacefully next door to one another with little of the rivalry and antipathy of previous eras. The present times see us most shocking work here, there, but however, these are still glimpses of the beauty that is to be had and shared. And much incredible dancing enjoying an age where dance technique has progressed further in expertise, strength, flexibility, and more than ever in history. Collaboration.
Mm.
So, in conclusion, what am I saying is that at the same time, the mass culture has experienced expansion of street dance. Soul Train performances with black dancers ignited a street culture revolution in a sense. B-boying in New York, locking in LA, popping in California, boogaloo in Oakland, California, robot in Richmond, and all their own creative explosions happened around the 60s and 70s, each with their own histories in hand, as innovators and serving as foundation. What I'm not saying, Mr. Woodson, is that
Mhm.
what I'm adding to this Wikipedia epic is the role of the house dance artists and
Right.
their contributions to dance. and the arts extending to the new world of minds and movement through expression as they serve as trailblazers for many, taking the music and dance cultures to clubs around the world, bringing us to recognize who, what, when, and how we approach dance in the new world.
Yes. Christina, that was beautiful. I agree 100%. I believe that back in the day, there was this division, this separation between the modern dance world, the ballet world, even like dance world. And now we're at a point where we all need each other. In order to survive in this new world, we all need to collaborate. We all are inspired by each other. And we all need to recognize that we are all artists and we are important. No, arts are important.
Mr. Woodson, our show is it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Yes, I mean, we need to give the time for all of these legendary people. And again, going back to you, Mrs. Tina, you do it all. I don't think people realize that you do the marketing, the choreography, the producing, all of it, making the music. It's like you are truly a Renaissance woman, and we want to thank you for this platform and for bringing these legendary
I'm
guests.
taking it in from every artist that I love and respect, including our young artists. This generation just needs, and that includes all of us, they need to just sit back, like he said, and just digest the beauty and the joy of what we've given this art form of admire him, because he is my fellow Sagittarius brother. And as you know, Sammy Davis Jr. was a Sagittarius, and Frank Sinatra was a Sagittarius. So listen, Sagittariuses are definitely rulers of fire. And in order for you to stick your hand in the fire, you had better not be wet. Okay, so that being said, digest that, honey. Yes, a wet hair will get you messed up in the fire. And this person, I have known him for the longest, is that he definitely is not scared of the fire. He is ready for the challenge. He is an innovator such as myself. He is a pioneer. He is a new pioneer. He's an activist. He's an advocate. But anyway, so I can get to this paragraph that I had to cut in half because our time is Sean McLeod. He is the president and CEO of New York Institute of Dance and Education, founder of Reaching for Higher Ground Consulting, executive producer of the New York Dance Festival, and founder and presenting partner of the Black Discovery Project and the Black Ballet Choreographers Symposium and Commission Conference. Sean McLeod is an award-winning businessman and American choreographer, and he also has an annual festival, and he has it upstate in Auburn, New York. He also holds the Harriet Tubman Festival, and it's a big festival that is outdoors and gorgeous. But he also teaches life skills to teens, parental communication to adults. He has intervention programs for public schools and universities. But at the beginning of his career, Sean used choreography and dance to present experiences that challenge the way minorities and people of color are seen in contemporary society. Over 25 years later, Sean additionally uses movement to help young girls, women and men around the globe to find their self-value in life and wellness through dance. He is an altruistic believer in people whose purpose is moving people to tangible action, personality, responsibility, and aiding those in social conflict. We welcome you, Sean McLeod. Woo! Yes.
Hey, family.
Hey.
Hey, Joseph.
So good to see you.
And all of your previous guests. I'm in awe. I'm really moved to be in the company of these folks. I don't think that there's a guest that you've had yet that is not prolific in their ability to want to give. And I think that is this beautiful connection. And even when you have it in the green room, getting to see Natasha for the first time, and gosh knows how long, it's like this instant rush of reconnection. And then with both Natasha and whatnot, and you just see them, and you might be seeing them for the first time, but you feel like you've known them forever. Right, so that's it's really profound. And then Peter, gosh, when it comes to you, you know how we are. Like we just have this symbiotic relationship from the first time that I laid out with you, and we just get each other. And I think creating our way out of challenge is kind of like our way. Like we create our way out of challenge. Um, and then brother Joseph, okay, like I just need your hat. I just need your hat. But I think that it is indicative of people to take a moment and to stop and to see what people are really manifesting. And I think that Tina has been prolific. And I think with you at her side, she's been prolific and also rested. It doesn't seem like she's having to carry the entire boulder by herself any longer. And I think that that is a beautiful testament. And I thank you because you are a great mind and you're a great accomplished person. And sometimes we need that when we're in the midst of our own creative tornadoes. We need somebody to help us kind of make calm out of all of the ideas. And I think that there is a duet of opportunity and intellect and innovation that you and Tina are doing that I find absolutely beautiful and a great amount of accessibility in it. And so I thank you for really helping take care of my sister.
I love
because she is
the day I leave this earth. So yes,
you guys are fierce. This is a beautiful program. This is a beautiful show. And Highlands. I'm sorry, I just had to.
Let me tell you something. I have had, and I'm not going to move because this is about what I have to have you up here for, Mr. McLeod. And I have to have you expound on where you see us going in the new world, and I have to get your feedback on that outside of myself and others. But I thank you for I was accepted into 4 universities on an academic scholarship. So even on those academic scholarships, I would still go. I would have went into those universities going, "Hi, everybody! Listen, Tina Thompson is not going to change because I have sat with ambassadors and I'm able to sit with anyone because me being true to my spirit and who I am. So as we're learning with this decade, I don't want to go too far. You know me and you, Shaw, on Black Lives Matters. Yes. I'm not downsizing myself to make anyone feel comfortable. I know how intelligent I am and I know how articulate I can be. And it's just who I am. So when I say, hey, Lance, or whatever, you get it because you have that personal relationship with me. But there are people who give me that title, Miss Tina, for a reason. And it's because I have to have strong Black men, such as yourself and Joseph, and my whole skin family, and just not even Black. I have had so many people. I'm just waiting for this. Yes, I don't want to miss Shaw. I've had so many people, such as yourself, contribute to my dance company and its shows and all of the projects. I have come up to your festival several times, and I'm going to come to Karen's. I'm looking forward to what she's going to give because I'll be driving up there with my little lounge chair, my purple lounge chair, and having my little Barney and James on the side. But that's too much to give these kids. But besides that, I will be riding up to Karen's ranch.
Yes.
And she's gonna see me coming outside of the parking lot because she's gonna hear me going, where's all this gravel? What is all this gravel for? Yes, because she knows I'm gonna be in a pump, honey. But besides that, I just want to say thank you for your words of wisdom. You have definitely been a trendsetter, and I want you. Of course, Skin has done it all with you, so we know how we go back. But more importantly, with this topic of discussion, I need you to tell the future generations as a pioneer, how should we be forging our way to the future? Karen mentioned the virtual, how we're learning with technology, we're dealing with it. People of our era, we're dealing with it. And actually, I think, like you said, Sean, we're doing a great job. So what are some things you would add to the menu, and how do you see us going forward and getting it done better?
I think that's a great question, and I think that I'm a culmination of all of your guests, right? I like put a bow on it, and that is that everything that they said are all part of the way that we need to be working, right? Listening to Solomon talking about looking at history and paying close attention to history, and recognizing that we sometimes talk about our Blackness, we talk about our Black diaspora, we talk about our Black intellect. when also in truth, we don't even recognize that within that Black diaspora, we're really Black people that are colored by European paintbrushes. And we're not really thinking about, is the work that we're doing really colored with a Black foundation? Because we haven't even looked at what that is. We were in a meeting one time not too long ago when Baba Hassan Kanti turned around, and he very sweetly, but he scolded a lot of the leading dance companies, Black dance companies in America, and said, you know, you keep saying Black dance. What is he talking about? You're still doing the same thing other people are doing. You're doing pirouettes and you're doing this. Like Black dance is down in the ground. Black dance is the stuff that we're doing. That's Black dance. Where's that in your work? And it was really quite profound, right? Because this is one of the most sweet, humble, beautiful men. And he said, I know that I will be dying someday. I know I will be dying sooner than later. Who's going to take the information that I have? Who's going to possess that? And I think that what Solomon was talking about is going back and seeing where these steps, where the impetus for cry came from. Right? When that work was created, the reason he probably called it cry was because his soul was crying. And so to recognize that it is the onslaught of the tears that you should be recognizing in your study, and not necessarily only the European signature for delivery, meaning the arabesque. And this is a guy who absolutely appreciates classical ballet and is said to be, you know, helping to innovate where classical ballet is going. But there's also a more basic conversation that we're missing, which is what is that basic humanity of man and what is the Black man and woman's contribution to that? How do we make certain that we are having our receipts? What are our volumes? What's our Encyclopedia Britannica? Where is, you know, our archives that show what our lineage construction is to that, so that someone like Solomon, who may not be able to train in the same room with Alvin Ailey, can train in the same vein as Alvin Ailey, can train in the same vein as Elio Pomari, can train, you know, in the same veins of these other folks who we talk about affectionately, but have never done the deep dive on, right? And then how do you personally become part of that? So I think that in this COVID time, in which two things have been laid out. One is that the economic fabric of America is not made for Black people to be successful. So we do that in spite of the system, not because of the system. We thrive because it's in our DNA to thrive, right? Period. And then two, the concept is, this is probably, and I actually wrote it down, this is probably singly the most innovative and opportunistic time, the single greatest time of creation and innovation and opportunity for Black people in probably 100 years. Because for the first time, New York City Ballet or ABT or no one is able to outdo us based on volume of real estate. They can't use their big buildings. Neither can we.
We're on the same boat.
Simply comes down to intellectual contribution and what it does for mankind. Because right now, the sequence ain't getting it done anymore. A person right now, when they're in their house, they need a rescue. They need an emotional lifeboat. They need an emotional life vest. And we, as Black people and all people, but we have an opportunity to be an authentic contributor in that space and to lay out what is the new product that comes out of this, so that we can be both economically sustained in this while also contributing to mankind in a way in which, yes, the receipt will be written that Josef was here. And this is what he contributed, that Solomon was here. And in that contribution, it was that I paid attention to what it was that came before me. I honored that.
Yes.
I did not try to compete with it. I spoke about it. Some of the greatest gifts that you can give. There's only two ways to pay people, to be honest. Only two ways to pay them. You give them monetary payment and or you give them acknowledgement. You say their name.
Yeah.
You allow for them not to die from the concept of no longer being recalled. And so that is what happens a lot is that we believe that if I don't say the name, they'll shine more light on me. When the reality is, if you say the name, then they'll shine light on both of you, and then the longevitiness of your name goes on. So when Tina invited us to come to and to do the concert with Skin, right? All that gorgeous, and then of course we started doing internationally, and I had a colleague that ended up seeing the footage and said, "Oh my gosh, that Gershwin was just beautiful." And I said, "Thank you." And they said, "Why did you put the Tina Thompson Dance Company in the corner? Like, why did you put that in the thing?" And I said, "Because they gave us the invitation." And they were like, it could have just said you were alien and okay, but it would have been incomplete. And it was funny to me that they thought that would be a plus, right? Trying to no. So the reality is what Solomon is talking about, what all the other guests were talking about, what Karen is talking about. We talk and coalesce constantly. And Tina, we've done this, when we try to figure out where is the common ground of collaboration, right? So if I have a personal connection with Carmen DeLago, who is a walking resource of how to get it done, and I know you, then you have a resource in Carmen DeLago, right? If I know the producer of the Oscars, and I know you, then you have that. You have it, and you don't have to earn it. I just need to know you. Just show up. And then we can just go do the work. And the only thing I really am quietly saying is, when you get your shot, don't forget us. That's all. And so what COVID has done is taken away all the glitter and all the glamour. And what it has said is, you are the action that you have put in space. You are the action you have put in space. So if you have put in generosity, that's what you'll be recalled for. If you have put in sharing and collaboration, that's what you'll be recalled for. If you're only looking out for, like, how do I get my product out there, that's what you will be known for. And no one will be promoting you but you, right? No one will be promoting you but you. And so for Tina to be with yourself at the Harriet Tubman, National Harriet Tubman Awards, and for her to be moved to give Karen a gift off her body, and for that gift to somehow transcend 3-4 years later, that's something that Karen still recalls and still uses and still has connection to. Damn, that's what it is all about. That is what Solomon was talking about. That is what our sister in Vegas is trying to say. When she's saying, let's restage the Liz, what she's saying is, let's remember the footsteps that we came from, so that we can be clear about the footsteps we're taking for tomorrow, right? It's a very simple thing. And she's also saying, you don't have to do it alone. Hell, we don't even want to do it alone, right? And I'll tell you, when it comes, and Tina, you talked about this in many eloquent ways, when it comes to if you're good enough, when it comes to if you're great enough, and I can say this, and it's not about black and white, because half of my family as well. You know that. But the reality is that if I find a chief of surgery who is white in a hospital, chances are he or she might be one of the best surgeons around. But I can assure you, if you find a black person who's a chief of surgery, he or she is one of the best around.
But I agree with you in your vision of what you're trying to say. And as far as, this is what I'm touching on, so I won't forget, is that and I'm bringing up Karen, is that for me, giving someone who's a pioneer, or who is actually to be a pioneer in one group of people, giving them that title, one group of people don't even have to call you legendary. But there's, like I said before, there's a whole nother group of people that they go, this person has done this, and I remember she started that. So they have that, like Sean McLeod is here for some people because he's done certain things. And You have to go to another platform, and like you said, you have to teach the master classes, and you have to show them what's right. You have to prove yourself all over again, is what I'm saying. So for me to stay on target is that when I give somebody something, first of all, my sister Natasha, who's coming up here very soon after our next fabulous guest in dance and personal training, she knows I give nothing, and it is also reflected in my work. I give nothing that I don't mean.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I give nothing, because if I'm giving you something, it's because it's something, an attribute about you that creates. I have this sister sense, and that's a whole other thing with my sisterhood. But I have a sister sense and a brotherhood sense, meaning that I understand you are of my tribe. Because watch this, you not only have been consistent in who you are, Sean, we talked about this. There are some people over the years, they have not been consistent. They will see you at certain events and they will turn their head. Then they will see you at certain other events, and they're not in an event, and they will say, hi, and they put in this whole, and you're like, oh, but you saw me in the lobby at City Center and you spiraled.
Yes.
So I listen. I tell you, I'm at an age and a place, Sean. You know, we talk like sister and brother. I don't have time to play games with you because my heart is pure. I said what I said and I meant what I said. And usually I say it from a place of precedence, meaning if I know you and I like you, I can see you in Western Beef or at Costco. I'm
And
saying hello to you. If I see you in the lobby at the Met or the New York State Theater, I'm going to say hello to you.
but let me say to you,
Say,
one of the gifts that you gave me, which is not unlike what you gave Karen, but literally, we had been working together for a few years, and you created a work for me. You created a dance work for me. You know, you created a dance work that you called an homage to Sean McLeod. And it was so beyond, because I didn't see that coming. It totally just like took me off the planet, right? I didn't expect it. And I think that, again, it is a gesture of saying the name.
now we need to do a special show, but I need to say this because here's Miss Tina. Okay, listen, I need to say this. First of all, you know, Erica's back there. Erica's amazing. Like she's a beautiful baby girl. And I say baby girl, she understands why I say what I say. She gets it. And you will see. Because like I said, she's not black. And I don't care that she's not black.
Right.
She's my sister. But yeah, am I making sense? So I can move on as this. First of all, you need to respect black women. You need to respect women of color. I'm not giving homage to no man or woman that is disrespectful to a black woman. And let me tell you why. It's not enough for you to pay homage to Karen Brown. You have to pay homage to Tina Thompson, and you have to pay homage to Natasha Devon. You can't walk around with an air that you can pay homage to certain black women, and then you disrespect other black women.
That is why in our organization, we were honored as one of the first Carmen de la Blog, award winners, right? Like, there with Carmen, because I think the impact that you have had, and of course, I mean, there is a process where people consider things to be a given, right? Like they think that things are a given, right? I don't think that I think of you and not think of Natasha, right? I think it's quite symbiotic in that notion, really quite symbiotic, because she would fly out and go do an Ailey camp and then fly back in to do, Tasha's been on the front line since there's been a front line, right? So that I think that from us, even before other people were trying to recognize the brilliance of your contribution, we certainly were as a national, international organization. And that's why I think that we did the things that we did in your honor. And I think that that's why we still do that. That's why I don't want to be affiliated outside of anyone. I want to be affiliated with them, right? And I think that that's also the connection of everybody you had on these on this broadcast today, right?
Yeah.
And I think that it's perfect that the intention of what you two were working to talk about is exactly what manifested itself, almost as if it were a script, because it was.
Absolutely. And Sean, I want to say, well, you always know that I don't put much on my walls because you know I'm very artistic. For me, my environment has to inspire me. So one time I might have the Josephine Baker is all around me, and you know why? Because she's one of my muses. But just to have like your award and the Carmen de Lava distinction, like I have other awards, but that is one of, like you said, that is one of the awards I hold dear to my heart. And so that's why when I talk to you behind the scenes, I'm really like, this is the thing. I make you visible. Don't try to hide me. Because I have friends right now that tried to hide me. Okay, Tina, here you go. And listen, they're regretting it right now. They're regretting it right now. So I'm going to just leave that alone. They're like, I should have had a Tina Thompson's back. Okay, because she's the one that would have told me the truth, and she went right. So sometimes you need those friends in your corner that are going to tell you the truth and not tell you what you want to hear all the time, because they're going to keep you in pocket. And that's why I have a Natasha and a Joseph Woodson. And Sean, we honor you. We always have honored you. And guess what? This time I come up, you taking me out to dinner. Okay, listen. I need some IHOP or something. Once these masks come off, and I know Karen Brown can make a good chicken. Okay, Karen Brown can fry some good chicken. Y'all don't know about Karen Brown's chicken, but that's a whole nother story. Listen,
Story.
listen, I get ready to let you go, but watch this. Karen Brown's chicken. Back in the day, she had anorexic dancers looking for more. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave that right there. Okay, she had the most snatched children at that door at that house party, saying, "Where's the chicken? And where is there more?" And Karen Brown, you know, she was about a buck. She was about 100 pounds herself. So you know when you can make some good chicken, and I can make some good chicken, contrary, like Joseph said. But Sean, I'm just being all humor aside, because I do believe that we need humor and we need joy during this time. Like, don't take everything so seriously. Like, just like how we on this show, like just be yourself. And guess what? Are you gonna always have people that are into it? No, but I swear, this week, Jeffrey Holder, I watched something online with him. It has inspired me because of who he is. He never sacrificed. He never apologized with Carmen de Lava. Speaking of Carmen, you know I love her. I'll never forget how she just took her hand around my waist and hugged me at your festival. And I was like, yeah, she said, I love that through. I said, yes, honey. Yes, Sean J. Okay, right. That's all I need. You didn't even have to call me up at the city center. I said, from Carmen de Lava, who has seen Josephine Baker. She has seen Alvin. She has seen all the greats. For you to get a compliment on your work from her, and it's nothing she hasn't seen, you are on the right track, kiddo. And every time I see her, she pays a beautiful respect to who I am, and she never acts like she don't know who you are and who you be.
Josephine.
Yes, I know this. That's in our show. But see, that's in the show. Okay, I'm going to let you go right now. See, Sean, me and you Sagittarius, we're going to get started. That's in the show. You have yet to. Okay, so yes, I see, right. But we love you, Sean McLeod. You are definitely a pioneer, and we will see you at the festival. Thank you.
So soon.